Welcome to Sister FeFe channel, where you are welcome here. Hey guys, it's Sister FeFe, and today I am super excited. I want to say super excited, guys. I have Muscle and Marriage, guys, in the building, guys. Come on through, guys. And as you are chiming in, coming in, guys, I need you guys to share this platform out to your community posts, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Go ahead and send it out because you don't want to miss this topic today. You don't want to miss it. YouTubers talking about the economy, the crisis we're in, and what is to come. We're just here to share our hearts. We're not here to work against the different people that are broadcasting and putting their information out. We're only giving you our view. So come on in. Sunshine in the building. Come on.
Hey, Sunshine.
In. Short Bus is in the building.
You know we're going to have to bless y'all the right way now. We got to bless y'all. We're going to have to give it to you.
Okay.
Come on, somebody. That's it, guys. Muscle and Marriage, guys. If you don't know these two people, you want to get to know them. They have a balanced life where they're able to talk spiritual at times. They're able to talk in the natural at times. His wife, she do poetry. I mean, they do all kinds of things. Her husband don't mind telling you. You know who it is. Go ahead and tell them.
Go ahead and show them.
Yourselves.
What up? What up? What up? Double M's, Sister FeFe's out there. It's your boy Keys.
And it's your girl Mandy. Ow, ow.
I love it. Go ahead. And you what? Go ahead, Keys.
And we back with another video.
Yeah.
I love it, guys. I love it. Guys, if you guys don't know these two couples, as I stated before, you want to get to know them, guys. They are a wonderful couple. They are a couple that love God. They love God, but they also like to stand on what's real. They want to share the truth. They don't mind sharing their testimonies, how they feel, their emotions, etc. And so we want you guys to be able to share your heart and your thoughts as well on what is going on. Please forgive me, guys, because I'm sharing this out on another platform, so it's taking me a second to try to get this. But we want you guys to chime in and share your input about this economy change that is getting ready to take place.
You know that has already truly taken place.
Correct.
You know, several people have lost jobs already.
No.
You know, and some people have hopes of going back to work with no real reassurance that they may, because some companies have decided that, hey, we'll just cut our losses with this, take the insurance money and go. We won't establish ourselves here in this city or in this town. We won't reopen the doors because the cost to reopen is going to be far greater than what we'll receive in revenue. So some people have decided they're not going to reopen, and people now, unfortunately, have to find other jobs and other places of employment.
Correct. And just like Mandy is talking, you know, sharing with you guys, you know, we need to make sure that we are prepared for what is to come, because as I'm talking to you right now within my community, and I can only talk about my community, they sent out a mass email, and this email stated that it is companies that has already released that they will not, I'm going to say it again, they will not be reopening in the state of Indiana where I'm located at.
Wow.
They already put that out. And I got that email about 2 days. And when I began to talk with you, Mandy, I realized that, oh my goodness, what we were talking about actually is moving forward. They're moving forward.
It's happening right. It was happening right while we were speaking on it. It was happening. Like I was expressing to you when we was talking. Remember, I mentioned Hurricane Michael, how it came through and, you know, really messed up the coastal Florida, the Panhandle. And all those companies decided not to return. They grabbed the insurance money, the relief monies, and they went elsewhere where they feel they could reestablish themselves in an environment where there's higher traffic and possible more revenue coming in another city, another state. So a lot of companies didn't even return to the Panhandle, like the Panama City, the Panama City area, didn't even return because the hurricane was a way out, for a business that was already struggling. It was already struggling. So the hurricane coming through, wiping everything out, was just your way of getting out of the situation anyway.
That's right.
Correct.
And so that's why some companies are doing it. They're not returning because this is giving me a way out.
Correct.
This COVID-19 is giving me a way out not to return. I was already kind of struggling, wondering how we was going to keep the doors open anyway. Now I ain't got to reopen the doors.
Correct.
And I'm gonna get some relief money.
Correct. So you guys that are working with these type of businesses, you need to pray and you need to start seeking now new doors of unemployment, because just as Mandy has stated, guys, people are literally shutting these doors because they've been struggling. Yeah, let's be real. They've been struggling from the door, okay, to keep the staff.
Think about how many times you go into work and they have meetings, and there are only certain people privy to what's going on in those meetings.
I love
you're not privileged to what's going on. They're not telling you what's going on. They tell you what they want you to know, but they're not going to tell you what's really going on because they don't want to incite panic, but at the same time they don't want to be truthful either.
I love that. And it's so true. It's so true.
You see it every day in the healthcare field. You see it every day in the healthcare field too.
Okay, and I want to talk about the healthcare field as well, because that is the area that you work in, and I also work in that field and been in and out of that field for years. And we're talking about right now. Our first topic is talking about loss of employment / family member layoff, how to handle it. Okay, we're going to talk about handling it because right now we have people that has lost their employment. Okay, and then now the families are going to be affected by this. And the thing is, it's not just one race. It's all people.
It's everybody. You know, the thing about it is this whole pandemic has put everybody on the same playing field. Whether you have money, no money. Whether you feel like, you know, you're middle class, whatever you want to call yourself, we're all in the same situation. We're all being forced to sit still. We're all being, even if you own a private plane, right now the government is saying you can't go nowhere. Even if you got billions of dollars in the bank, you can't go nowhere.
Correct.
You're not exempt. The money don't keep you from getting COVID-19. It don't stop you from getting the conditions 19 virus. It don't stop you. It doesn't. And I call it a conditions virus. It's conditional whether or not you get it, depending on how serious you take it.
I love
it. We decided to call it conditions 19.
I love it. Now, Bless Rose says the company that my husband works for permanently laid off of almost half of the workers and gave the supervisor a decrease. Oh my God.
My heart goes out to you, dear.
Blessings to everyone across the entire world that this is happening. My thoughts start off with having a financial planning process, thought process in place. You always want to have something set in place for these type of emergencies. When we say emergencies, a rainy day, some type of chaos of situation. This is it. So you have to have some financial discipline, some financial education on your end that you were setting. What does the good book say? Lay by him in store for certain situations as these.
Correct.
So we have to be
and even if you didn't set money aside, because some people are living paycheck to paycheck. That's the nature of the beast out here in the world we live in. A lot of places are not paying as much money already, and then you're cutting people pay. People just don't have it. But the one thing you have to do in a situation like this is remain consistent and be together as you go through it. Because this kind of stuff can cause bickering. It can cause fights. It can cause discord, a whole lot between your spouse. Your spouse got laid off. You still going to work. It can cause resentment, all kind of stuff. But it's all about your perception and how you perceive things to be, and how you internalize things. You can't internalize. You can't get caught up in it. You got to say, "Hey, baby, we're gonna get through this regardless. We're gonna be okay. We've been through worse. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay." Correct. Like that.
Correct. You're gonna have to most definitely reposition yourself as everybody. Reposition yourself, everybody. We need to get back to family. I believe that this is really a message from God. If you look at it, this epidemic situation, it has no respect of a person. It has no respect of a person.
No, it doesn't.
All race, all creed, all color, whatever you want to say, is being hit by this situation. We all are. God, I believe that God is taking us all back to the beginning, and charity, which is love, is family. We have lost connection with family.
Oh yeah.
We have lost back to what Keys was talking about. For those that can, as many say, some people they can't, afford it. They can't say, but for those, I'm going to speak wisdom. I'm going to hold on to Keys' wisdom that for those that do have the money, you better use your money wisely. Start saving money. Start investing into the right things. And have we been doing it all? I mean, in the beginning of my life, I must be honest with you, I was poor. I had poor management with money. But as the years went by, and I got tired of losing stuff. I got tired of begging folks, and they tell me no, even though I might have helped them 100 times. When folks don't want to help you, they don't want to help you. So what Keith is saying is that, look, if you have the money, put it away. And someone was on a live, you guys, and you guys can piggyback off this, and they was just telling the truth. They're like, don't try to play the system. Don't try to play the system, you guys. And Mandy was talking about this. I'm gonna let her share this as we get down the topic line on these stimulus checks. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, because folks are playing games. This is nothing to play with. You're gonna find yourself in a world of debt.
Yep, in a world of debt. In a world of debt.
So sis, let's go back to, we're going to stick back to how to handle it. Family members, you losing your job, or the family member losing their job, and you were talking about us coming together instead of tearing down one another. What are you trying to say to the audience? How can they handle it?
Well, I tell you, the first thing you could do is, okay, we know this is the amount of income we had coming in. Okay, now that you've been laid off, we know this is what we have now. Okay, this is what we have now. This is what we have in savings. What we have now. Okay, these are what our bills are. So it's just like when you plan a wedding, you gotta constantly remember in a relationship, you're constantly planning. You're constantly preparing. The moment you stop preparing, the moment you stop planning, the moment you stop being attentive to what's going on in your life is when things can happen, when different things can fall between the loopholes. So what I'm saying is, in our situation, we sat down and we made a plan. Okay, this is what we have to pay every month. This is when it's due. Okay, I'll make sure that I follow up on these bills. I'll make sure that we do this. You'll make sure we do that. And we work together as a team. But we don't let the circumstances be the total focus. If you make the circumstances the big focus, it's going to become the big problem.
That's right.
We can't focus on the circumstance. We got to focus on what is the resolution to the circumstances. What are we doing about it?
Correct.
Not let's keep bickering and fussing because that's not taking us anywhere.
Correct. Vern says, please keep paying your bills.
Absolutely, because what's going to happen, Vern, is that people are going to get behind thinking that, because AT&T said we gonna leave, your phone's on for 60 days and we ain't gonna expect no payment. They're gonna expect every bit of that payment, and then the new bill that's coming up in the 60 days.
It's gonna be on top
and they're gonna expect every bit of it. So even with the light companies, if you have the money to pay your light bill, pay your light bill. Because even they're going to keep your lights on with conditions 19 going on. Trust and believe there will be no conditions about we need our money.
Correct.
After everything is said and done, because they're going to cut you off. There are going to be so many disconnections going on around the country. It's going to be ridiculous.
Wow. Keys, do you have anything you want to add to that? Because I know he was in agreement with his wife on that, paying your bills.
Yeah. Communication. You always hear it. Communication is key. You have at any time, you always want to sit and converse with your significant other to make sure you both are on the same page.
Amen.
And you make sure that you always have more coming in than you do coming out.
I love it. Good teaching.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead. I don't want to cut nothing off because I want them to get all this information, because Vern is saying something as well. That's awesome. Go ahead, Keith.
Yes, Miss Vern. We were just talking about that. You do have to have a saving plan.
An emergency plan and a rainy day plan.
Yeah. But we were all also touching base on some people live on a check-to-check basis,
and some are fixed income.
Yeah. So they're not able to
have all those things.
Save. But they can try to position themselves so that they can take away at least if they can't take away 10%, because that's how we know, quote unquote, the economy tells us to save 10%. Well, maybe the average person can't save 10%, but they can save 1%.
That's
correct.
So
correct. Because you can cut out some habits in order to have some on your side. See, when you reposition yourself, you gotta start looking at what's important and what's not important.
Exactly.
What have I been spending excessive money on that is not important? What have I been overspending? You know what I'm saying? What have I been giving too much time and attention to? People have habits. Gotta cut it out. Gotta let it go. Gotta let it go.
Correct. So, in other words, Keys, are you saying you're agreeing with Vern in the behalf of making sure, as well as you, Mandy, saying that you guys we need to make sure that we're saving percentages.
Something.
Because that's the teaching. That's the teaching.
Putting something aside for your savings, paying yourself, and paying your bills.
Yeah. Just like you said before, you have to get back to basics. If someone doesn't understand, well, what is the basics? Because I didn't have anyone to teach me, then that's what books are for. That's when you're getting out and you're looking up things, or you're trying to reach out to someone that will give you the benefit of the doubt and can give you some insider encouragement on how to get things like monies and financial ways to save. But you do have to build a foundation.
I love that.
To get yourself on the right path. Without any plan, you plan to fail.
I love that. Vern says, I show people about savings plans for 1 month, 6 months, and 1 year. Even if it's
short-term to long-term goals of savings.
Yes. And guys, you know, this is something we must be honest. This has been taught to us for years. For years. They've been sharing this. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Now we're in a crisis. Have we done it? Have we done it? And we're not here to bash anybody. If you didn't do it, then what we need for you
if you didn't do it, this is an opportunity and a chance for you to get yourself in a position so that you can do it. So this is what this is going to teach you. Okay,
correct.
Going through this crisis will make you a better person going out. I hope it will make many of us better people. As far as being mindful of our financial situation, what are we doing? How many trips a year are we taking? Why do we have to always be somewhere doing something? Yes, we all want to have a good time, but you got to think about how much money are you putting into that, and how much money do you have coming in. If you're putting more time into leisure and fun activities, and you got less of that coming in, then we are at a disadvantage. We're at a disadvantage. Money's coming in got to be more than what we out here doing. Gotta be. And if it's not, we gotta slow down on this so that we can build this up so that we can get back to this.
Yes.
We're having a good time, but we got to make sure the money's are coming in. We got to get that passive income rolling. Got to.
Correct.
And that's where me and Keys are at right now.
So that is good, and now I love what you guys are sharing to the audience. That you guys have to stick together. It is not the time. It is not the time to belittle one another. No. It's not the time to say, "Hey, I got to go out here and provide," and you're not doing anything. That's
not true, because while you're going out working, your spouse probably is at home cooking dinner,
correct,
clothes, getting your work clothes together, cleaning the house, organizing things. So that's the one thing I love about my marriage and our relationship. Even when we've had times where Keys wasn't working because something happened, or a job closed down, or I wasn't working because I was in the hospital or something happened, we have always picked up the slack where the other one couldn't.
Yeah, there's
always. That's been from day one before we even got married. We were like
that.
Even before we got married, because I had a few surgeries. Like my gallbladder removed one time. I was out of work for a while. I was sick. I was in bedridden and things like that. Keys would go to work every day, work overtime. He would still come home, make my bath water, take care of me, cook for me, everything.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. And that's why I knew I was dealing with a king. I wasn't dealing with anything. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And that's when I knew, okay, this is my husband. This is a man that can be my husband. That can take care of me, love me, respect me like this. Be there for me through some of my darkest days, my hardest times, and I'll be there for him in the same aspect. People don't. We have a story that's so tremendous, Sister FeFe. When we get ready to share it, people ain't gonna believe it.
Correct. I believe it. You know what?
It's gonna blow their mind. What I'm saying is gonna blow their mind. Like, wow, y'all went through all of that. Oh yeah.
Yes. And that's what I believe. I believe that God is bringing us together so we can build that platform. I'm talking about not only on the internet, but we're gonna be able to stand before you guys face to face and be able to speak life to you guys face to face and touch your hands and say, look, we've been through that. We know what it's like not to have. We know what it's like not to budget. We know what it's like not to be in the right relationships. We know. We know.
And we had situations, we've had health scares, we've had different things happen to us prior to Conditions 19 that made us look at our conditions and made us reposition ourselves.
Yeah. Correct.
It's like even when this pandemic came out, the thing about it was we wasn't running to the stores to get anything. because every 2 weeks we're already buying detergent. We're already buying hand sanitizer. We already had we already had several bottles of dishwashing liquid soap. We already had several bottles of bleach. We already had too much of that stuff anyway. You see what I'm saying?
So you guys were preparing yourselves.
It's like God already had us set up for it. He already had prepared us for it. So we need to go to the stores for 2-3 weeks, right? We can go to the stores. We have to go to stores.
Probably more than that. And we do the Sam's Club and the Costco thing. So toilet paper and
we had plenty of that
paper
stuff.
Towels is
plenty of that stuff. And the reason why we in Lysol and things like that, the reason why is because we work in the medical field and we've already been over the last 20 years universal precautions. So you already know when you walk through the door, you need to take your shoes off at the door and you need to go ahead and spray them with Lysol. You know what I'm saying? Instead of we already know you got to come out in the scrubs at the door. Them scrubs can't go through the house like that. We already know. You know what I'm saying? We already know to wipe everything down with bleach and clean the doorknobs. We were already doing stuff like that every single day because I treat every patient that I come in contact with as if they can give me something.
Precaution at all times.
I need Conditions 19 to tell me that. I already felt that way because I've been working
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Because
when you go through all
wash your hands, all of that.
Yeah, when you go through all these different trainings and you go through all these different in-services and these medical practices, they're gonna drill it in your head. Constant hand washing, for 30 seconds or more, and washing your hands properly, drying your hands. Don't touch the faucet. Turn it off with a paper towel. Things like that. Wearing gloves and changing your gloves out after each task. Don't keep wearing the same gloves. Like I go in restaurants and I'm seeing people wearing the gloves they touch the register with. Then they're going back to making something to eat with it. What are you doing?
Correct.
Take them gloves off.
Correct. And we want to talk about that too. We want to talk about that too with those gloves because I know we talked about that. I'm going to read a couple of comments. Vern says, not trying to be funny, but I say when people get their income tax and spend ASAP with nothing saved or
they are thousandaires.
They are thousandaires. And it's true. At that moment, it's very sad. And right now, their kids, it's a lot of people are subject to go through because you took your monies and did not use it wisely. She said, budget is key. I know it may seem old school, but in this economy, it is what is needed.
It's true. The economy is constantly changing. And you don't never know when they're going to start raising the taxes. They've already passed legislation where they can pick and choose how you're going to file. They're picking and choosing if you're the head of the household based on previous filings. All kind of stuff is going on in different states now where the government is trying to take more control over even filing your taxes so they don't have to give you back as much money.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. I want to ask you this, man, because we got a couple things that we want to touch base on. Okay, you're talking about the government, them are going to be issuing out a certain amount of monies to certain people, right?
Based on how they file their taxes.
Okay, now this is something people need to be aware of, and people been doing it for years, and I have had my part of doing wrong in my life, and I had to learn. Let me tell you something from doing wrong. I had to learn.
Get your butt.
Sure will. So let me tell you guys, if you are utilizing people's children, I want to find out. Do you guys feel the same way? And if Uncle Sam, because I read this, they sent an email out saying that based upon your taxes, if they file them children, don't be thinking you're going to be trying to get money and you done saw your kids. I think that that money is going to go to the people that filed those children.
Yeah. It's going to the people they're allowed to file the kids.
Who filed those children on their taxes. They're going by your tax return.
Yeah, whatever you file for this year's tax return, that's what they're going by. Now, I want to add this.
And if you did file for this past year, 2019, they're going to go by your 2018 taxes.
Yeah.
So some people may have let people file their children in 2018 that they didn't have any plans on filing in 2019.
Okay.
And they probably haven't filed their 2019 yet. And if they haven't, they're going to go by those 2018 taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's another tricky thing going on.
And it's gonna be the amount of money. So if you made too much, you won't be getting anything. If you made too less, you know, you just gonna hit the cost of getting that stimulus.
Isn't that $400? I think it was like $450 or $3 something or something like that. I think that's what I saw. I know it was low.
It's supposed to be like $600.
Okay.
Well, I know it was $1,200. Like so be $600 to $1,200, and if you're married and you file jointly, they're only going to give you guys $600.
Yeah.
If you file separately, then you'll get your $600 to $1,200, depending on if you filed any dependents on your taxes, and you'll get his $600 to $1,200, depending on if he filed any kids.
Because the kids, if I'm not mistaken, I think they say they're going to give you $500 per kid. So that means that if you got $600, then you got 3 kids, then I think it totaled up to like $2,000.
$2,100.
So that's something to think about, guys. So don't come getting mad with folks because you did that to yourself. So
another thing, fellas, if you're on child support
and you will not get anything.
You will not get a stimulus.
Wow.
You will not get a stimulus. Will it go toward?
And it will not go to your child support, and it will not go. And it will not go to the mother who is raising the children. She won't get the money either. So they just won't give out any money. They just won't give out any money in that situation, they said.
Now, this is another important thing. If you receive the stimulus check, they are doing this. When you file your next year's income tax, they're going to be deducting that money that you received.
I didn't know this.
Stimulus.
Come on, teach us. Teach us. Teach us. Teach us.
They're gonna take the money.
You're gonna be deducted. Well, however much you got for your stimulus, you're gonna be paying that back for your next tax return.
Bracket. Wow. Do you guys hear this? This is facts information. We're sharing our truth. We're not trying to take from anybody or add anything. We're just sharing our hearts and our truth, guys. And we got Vern. She says that is very true. Vernon saying that is awesome at Marriage and Muscle. I know what y'all mean. I will be married 20 years on April the 8th. You need to work on your marriage to keep it together. Absolutely. So guys, it is very important. I've been married for it'll be 14 years in June for my husband and I. And let me tell you something. We have grown so much together, and we talk about our budget. We write down what we owed out, what we have coming in. We look, write down your budget. As Mandy stated, look, if you don't need something, then you need to cut that. You need to cut that out.
Cut it out. Slow it down.
Because it's going to hurt you.
And then train down. You got to slow it down. Because you'll look up and all that money will be gone.
Correct.
Everything you got coming in, you won't have it coming in no more. You see people are laid off. People had good jobs and they were laid off from those good jobs. Those companies have no intentions on reopening, and people were living certain lifestyles, doing certain things. And now, what are you going to do? That money's all coming in anymore. You no longer have that money. You don't want to deplete your whole savings account. So what are you going to do?
One thing that you can learn from all of this is that you can do more together than you can separate and apart.
That's right.
And I'll let y'all marinate on that for a minute out there in live land. You can do more together than you can separate and apart.
It's biblical. It's biblical. 2 is better than 1. Always remember that. Don't never ever fight against your spouse. Don't belittle one another. And even if you got children in the home, you guys work together. You work together. You know, if the mom is the one that's providing, you know, lift the load off of her. Like Mandy say, clean the house. If you know, if it's just the children and the mama, you know, clean the house, cook food, or do whatever you can to make it easy on her. That's just like money to me, to be honest. If I come in the house and I don't have to clean and I done worked all day,
I ain't gotta wash no clothes, nothing. Come on.
Correct. Now, y'all, do you guys know Short Bus? Because I want to read his comment because it's a moment of laughter, y'all.
Okay.
He loves to crack. He's our little comedian. He said, Vern, that is true, but people play cards with tax money. And he telling the truth. He
never lied. He never lied.
He tickles me, y'all. And it's the truth. People play spades, not spades, but they call pity pat and tunk, and they trying to make extra money. And sometimes that's not guaranteed.
And that's not an investment.
No, it's not.
We can honestly say we know some of all of us. All of us know someone that gets a big income tax check and uses it unwisely. They take it as if they're getting the big score, like they went to Las Vegas and won on the slot tables, or playing blackjack or poker, and you won the big score, and now you have all this particular money within 1,000, 15,000, 16,000, however it may be, 10,000. Now these people get this particular amount of money and it only lasts them a month.
Well, I'll tell you another problem with it is too. You notice when tax time come around, think about when you grew up in the neighborhood and things like that. You seen paper tags everywhere on cars. Paper tags, everybody buying cars with their
tags. All the time.
So basically, you don't spend out about $5,000. If you got 7 or 8 back from all the kids, you got a 10 grand back. You done took 50% of that and put that in the car. You don't even have a job to make the payments every month. Okay. After a couple of payments, now you back to it's repossession time. You know what I'm saying? Or you go here to these buy here, pay here lots where they rip you off, and then you're back to square one. You know what I'm saying? You know, people don't understand that it's not what you make is what you spend.
That's right.
Correct.
And that's what people got to get into, that mentality. It ain't what you make, is how much you spend. What are you spending out? If like you got more going out than you got coming in, you're already at a disadvantage. And people do that with their taxes. People take the time as we about to turn up, we about to be out here doing our thing with these tax checks, and they be out here clubbing. Everybody get new weaves, $500 weaves when they was wearing $30 weaves months before. Now you all of a sudden you want the high end stuff. You can't afford it. You
cannot. You're not using wisdom. It's not wisdom at all. No. It's not wisdom at all. Now let me ask you.
Are going to be used to boost the economy.
Okay, I want to talk about that. Let's talk about the stimulus checks to boost the economy immediately. Okay, so these people are, everybody is going to be receiving these checks. They're going to be sending these checks out, and as we talked about it, the people are thinking that they're getting free money. They I'm being honest. They present it. It sounds like it's free, but then at the same time, if you listen carefully, they are saying eventually you're gonna have to pay this back. You have people that sometimes hear, but they don't hear. So let's try to.
They hear, but they're not. What it is FeFe, they hear, but they're not listening.
Okay.
They hear something, but they're not listening.
So
you listen, you know what's being said to you. You understand it. You internalize. You soaking it up. Like, okay, yeah, I need to be mindful of what I do with this money, because they're going to require this money back on my next taxes. So I need to make sure that I'm in a financial good place when it's time to file again, so that I'm not dependent upon that money that they're not going to give me. Because they're going to take them off the top for the.
They're going to take correct. So a lot of people, I just want to, speak like on the mindset of people that are not listening. that are not listening. But I need for you guys to listen. I need you guys to understand that you guys are going to get this money. But as Mandy, as well as Keys is saying, guys, you're going to have to pay this money back. My mom even said, we were sitting up one night, late one night, and I just love my mom when it's time for her to give out wisdom. One thing I can say, any bad decision I ever made financially, it was not because of a poor watching my mom poorly use her money.
It wasn't paid out. It was your choice. Yeah,
it was my choice. So you have a lot of people that are out here in the world that have poorly choice because of your own. You can't fault parents.
You can't blame anybody else for that.
Exactly. So now that you're in the
you know better, you should do better.
Correct. So in other words, we're saying that, look, everybody, if you need the money and they give you the money, hold on to the money. Okay, because the money is going to come, but it is a consequence behind this, that when next year come and you looking for next year money to pay for something that you need to be paid for, you're not going to be able to pay for it. You're not going to be able to pay for it. My mom, back to what I want to say about my mom, she said, Felicia, I don't care how many times they say don't pay your light bill for 3 months. Oh, I'm paying my light bill.
Right.
I'm paying my light bill.
I will not get behind on my bills.
Now, I don't know about where you are located at, but I know in the state of North Carolina, in the little state of Laurinburg, where I was born and raised, they do not show mercy. When I say they don't show mercy, if you don't pay your light bill 1 month, and in Scotland County, if you guys are listening in, I need y'all to agree with me. I'm looking at Facebook too. I need y'all to agree with me. You guys know Scotland County do not play with you. They will cut your light bill off for $5.
Dang.
I promise you, $5. They don't believe in putting the $5 on the next month and then it roll over. No. You owe $5, you're going to pay for it. So my mom said, she's not going for it. They can give her 3 months, but she's going to keep paying her bill.
That's good.
That's what she's going to do. And she's on a fixed income. So the folks that's not on fixed income, you don't really have an excuse. No. So it's up to you. So what do you feel, Mandy, like over there, you in Atlanta, Georgia, you're in the Georgia area now. What do you see what's going on, or what will be taking place in that area? Because I know we're at loss for jobs right now. That's not.
Well, I feel like the governor and so many other politicians here wanted to kind of like see the economy continue to thrive. Even though they knew COVID-19 was out here, I felt like they weren't taking it serious. There were several businesses that were still open. Things were still running and operating as if nothing was wrong, as if there was no reason to panic, as if there was no reason to take this serious. And then all of a sudden, because there started to be more cases, people testing positive for the COVID-19 in Fulton County, especially where they have a lot of prostitution and homelessness and a lot of different stuff like that going on in a certain part of Fulton County. Well, because the cases started to rise, and I guess the Governor Kemp was taking advice from some medical doctor that he was, seeking advice from about this pandemic. And she basically explained to him that there are people who are asymptomatic, meaning they have no symptoms of spreading the virus. Yeah. So you sit next to somebody who's not coughing, they don't present like they have a fever, they seem like they're okay, and you sitting there conversing with them, and they giving you corona, and you don't even know it.
Wow.
So that started happening, and the cases started to rise because of it. So then he decided extra late that, it's time to shut the state down. But before that, Keisha Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, she went ahead and put Atlanta on a 14-day lockdown on March 23rd. But people still were trying to go to parks and still trying to do stuff. She didn't even shut that stuff down because people still weren't adhering to the social distancing because our governor wasn't making like it was serious. And anytime your leader is not stressing the importance of safety or social distancing or washing your hands, and your own leader is not acting like it matters. All he worried about is the economy of Georgia, continue thriving and money keep coming in. People are gonna keep doing what they've been doing because, well, hey, the government ain't panicking, I ain't gonna panic.
And we have to say this, that all state officials are not on the same page.
They're not.
They're not together. This particular state, each county has different things in order for their county. They're not curfews. Yeah, they're not even on the same accord. They're not walking together. So everybody doing their own thing, and this is why this particular situation is skyrocketing.
You know what? I agree with that. I do believe that we all the way around the world should be on the same curfew. I'm agreement with you with that.
Yeah. The good book says, and I think we all can agree, it says, how can two people walk together unless they
agree? Oh, I love that. He just gave oh my goodness. He just gave biblical scripture, guys. And one thing with my channel, I believe in standing with the word. And he just said, how can two walk together except agree? Whether it's in marriage, whether it's in with the transition of what's going on. And we want to make sure that we all are trying to get this academic thing under control. We are going to have to walk in unity, and it's the truth. My husband got upset. He's a truck driver. He's been driving trucks since he was 20, off and on. And he was like, Felicia, he was like, look, he was like, I mean, they gonna have to send out the force. They're gonna have to send out the force because he say it looked like nobody respect nothing that the government or whoever they say they supposed to be home. And he's like, look, I'm driving trucks. I can't even get what I got to go because it's like backed up out there. And for you to say that it gotten better in the Atlanta area where it was slowing down with traffic, I was like, wow. But yeah, my husband.
Yeah, in certain parts of Georgia here the streets are very dry. Ain't nobody hardly on the streets like that. People are still going places and anywhere they see open, still going out getting food and doing things like that. You see that because some restaurants are still open because they're trying to survive this. Everybody don't have the luxury of Starbucks to close the doors. They can close the doors and reopen the doors and they're going to be just fine. You know what I'm saying?
Starbucks, I'm glad you said Starbucks. Starbucks up here closed down. Did they close where you at?
They closed in certain parts here too. Over by where I work in the Dunwoody area, they closed. I know in the Johns Creek area, they were closed. Yeah. They've closed down a lot of places because they were offering first responders a free tall coffee, hot or cold drink. Free just for being a first responder. And then that was supposed to happen to May 3rd. And they've closed the doors at a lot of locations.
Wow. Yeah. I actually went there because I actually deliver sometimes. And, I was like, wait a minute, what happened to Starbucks? Starbucks is one of the famous,
they're the top coffee brand around here. I mean, they on every block, every corner here in the Georgia area. I mean, shoot, right in Atlanta alone, they got 1,000 locations.
I agree.
If you count the ones inside the Target, if you count the ones inside the Kroger, if you count the standalone buildings, honey, they got 1,000 right here in Atlanta.
Yeah, organic love.
Go ahead. What she saying?
Organic love. I'm with you, honey. When Starbucks is closed, we have a situation. Houston, we have a problem because I love using Starbucks drink.
Oh my goodness!
He be like, "Here she go." Then I said, "You want to go?" Then I said, "You want to go to ginger drink?" And then he all in.
That's right.
Then he all in.
Look, did y'all see Rico say here in Ohio? I have seen several army trucks. Wow, he said in Ohio they released the army truck.
I'm really shocked because I didn't think Ohio had as many cases like that.
Now, my sister, she's in
St. Louis.
St. Louis. She said the same thing. They have those army trucks as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But a lady I work with, her son-in-law is in the military, and he sent her a little video. We was watching it at work. He sent her a video, and you could see them sending the troops out. You could see them getting ready to board. Get ready to come.
That's what I heard.
Enforcing it.
I heard that. Trump them are getting ready to release. I think it was like 1,000. Was it 1,000? I think it said 1,000 troops. Yeah, and 1, I think troops. It's in New York. I know it's
they're gonna be in New York, and then they're gonna start sending them to the hot spots too, the other hot spots. Because New York New York has the greatest need, but they're gonna start sending them to the other hot spots. Like Florida's a hot spot because Florida is where people like to go and have a good time. People want to be in Vegas. People want to be in these places, trying to get there and hang out. And they're gonna be at the border stopping you at the state line. Hey, you can't come through here.
Oh, I heard that.
Right now, we were told, because we're still Florida residents. We're still Florida residents. We live here in Georgia. We're Florida residents, so we can go back to Florida if we want to. We can drive there and they'll let us through. But guess what? If we go through there, we can't come back.
Can't come back. Oh, wow. Well, Greenwood said, she said in Long Beach. I don't know. Is that Florida? Where's Long Beach at?
Long Beach, California.
Okay. The police had to tell people to go home.
They telling you.
I mean, it's getting bad.
We were at a Publix in Johns Creek where we lived previously before we moved. And the police were literally in front of the store, parked in front of the store. And if they saw it was too many people in there, they were telling you to get out. Hurry up and get your stuff and get out the store. Hurry up and get through the conveyor belt and get out the store. Can't have all these people in the store like this. Social distancing is not happening. If everybody that's getting to walk through the store like they ain't have no, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not serious. That's why I said some people in certain places and establishments are not taking it serious because all they want to do is make money. They don't care about making sure social distancing is adhered to. They don't care about if people are washing their hands. They just care about making money. The bottom line, and it's the same thing you see in the healthcare field. Correct. At my jobs, I have 2 medical jobs that I do at 2 different locations, and I tell you this because it's the truth. They got the supplies locked up. You can't even get a mask unless you sign it out. And I said, okay. At one job, I was saying to the DON, I said, well, okay. How are we to put in tubing or do procedures with patients? And you say that every time we do a different procedure with a different patient, we're supposed to get a new mask, new everything, new PPE equipment. And that's personal protection equipment.
Correct.
If I'm supposed to get new personal protection equipment, gown, I'm supposed to get gloves, I'm supposed to get masks, and you are not even available to give it to me. And you tell me I'm going to send somebody to bring it to you.
Correct.
Contaminated. Why can't I come get my own stuff? I don't know what they got to give me. They got to open doors, push on the doors that bring the stuff to me. It's always contaminated. So if you already have the supplies in the area where the procedures are happening, people won't have to come out of the room. It ain't got to be, transported from cross-contaminated from one room to the other room. But they won't do that because companies are trying to stay open and they're trying to they're trying to do the unlimited supplies. Let me tell you something. You ever seen those little paper like masks? They're like yellow. They're flim-flam masks. They're not even.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
They don't even protect you from nothing. Okay. Well, they got those and they're going around at the start of the shift and they're having you sign one out and they're telling you this, giving you a plastic bag and telling you got to wear that mask for a week. I said, do y'all not know that plastic breeds bacteria?
Correct.
Listen, every day I've thrown my mask in the trash and they've been mad at me for it.
I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact.
In the shift, I throw it in the trash outside. I put hand sanitizer on my hands before I leave out their building and I throw it in the trash. And then I come back the next day. I need a new mask. Those masks was worn for a week. You keep asking for a new mask. I'm going to ask for one every day or you can send me home.
Correct.
Because I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this the other way. Give me a new mask, and you can. If you got enough nurses in here to work today, you let me know, and I go to the crib. But what I do is working these kind of conditions. I don't care how much your supply is.
Correct.
Hey, you better get some supplies in here.
Your husband be so tickled at you. What?
I be calling him. I be turning up. I be like, baby, they trying to with this mask. Come on. I gotta come on.
Y'all don't understand out there. Y'all don't understand. When I call her John Wick, that's the truth.
I don't know. Because I'm not going to let you put me at risk. And, I know the DON, she's new. She was like, well, the director's telling me I said, I don't care what the director's saying, ma'am. I'm telling you, I need a new mask.
Correct.
And I get a mask. Thank you. And I said, every day that I come in here to work and every day that I'm interacting with these patients, I'm going to constantly be asking you for a new mask throughout the day.
Because it does transfer
a
disease.
How you expect me to go take care of this patient, wear that same mask, go take care of that patient with that same mask, and then you say wear it for a whole week?
Yeah, it's transferring germs.
Home.
But you know what? Also, germs. People don't. I mean, if you guys do a research on it, I was listening to this doctor, and he was basically talking about whenever someone coughs. Okay, whenever they cough in the atmosphere, whatever that what do you call it? The
droplets,
the droplets, yeah, the droplets. Once it goes out, he said it lives for hours.
Yeah,
it lives for hours.
If somebody sneeze right now, if I sneeze at this table right now, I don't cover my sneeze. I don't do this. I don't try to block it or anything. I just sneeze and let it hit this table. It'll live on the surface up to 14 days.
That's what they said, and that's
somebody else comes to the same table and sit in the same spot.
Ain't that something?
Touching their face, anything, they got whatever I had.
That's why it's so important. That's what the doctor was saying. He said the reason why you want to take a hand sanitizer with you, because he was saying that even us going into the shopping center, and I want to talk about Walmart, guys, because I don't know if this have happened in your community yet, but it's happening now as I'm talking.
Okay.
Walmart actually has shut down in the state of Indiana, where to the point they only receiving 10 customers.
They doing it here too
at a time.
I don't even go to Walmart because I can't deal with the nonsense in there.
The first time I experienced it, I went to Home Depot and I was driving and I was going to get something. And I looked and I seen a long line. And I said, what's going on here?
At the public?
At Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Wow, I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
They're doing it too. Only 2 customers in the store at a time.
So that's crazy. So you got to stand outside.
Hair stores too. I went in the hair store recently. And Keys, pulled up. I got in the car to go in the hair store, whatever. And I walked right in the store. I didn't know there was a line. I didn't even look to my right. I just went straight through the doors. I didn't even think, I had just got off work. I wasn't thinking, And then there was a lady, outside, our people. And so she's like, oh, you didn't see that line? No. You didn't see that line? I said, I didn't see the line, but but that's not a big deal. I said, they letting us in 2 at a time. It's okay. I can wait my turn. Not a big deal. Moving on. I said some other things too, but I ain't going to go there right now. But yeah, I had to really let her know who she really was to me, because I cannot with ignorance. Like, I didn't see the line. I apologize for it. I'm moving on. You keep on talking. Don't do that, because I'm about to let you know some things. Like, please.
I know. We have to pray for that.
Yes, we do, because this pandemic brings out a lot of ignorance. Like, there was a lady, I don't know if you've seen this article in the news, but there was a lady, she had on scrubs, and she went in the grocery store, and the lady started yelling at her, saying that she shouldn't be in the store with scrubs on, because you're contaminating all of those scrubs on. And the lady worked in an office where she sat at a desk every day, but she just wore scrubs because she felt comfortable.
And she took it out of context.
She took it as if she had been on the hospital floor all day long. I wish somebody would approach me in my scrubs. What I can't do. Excuse me. See, you won't need medical attention if you don't get out my personal space. You will need medical attention if you don't get out my personal space.
Green
that way.
Organic love. She said some hospitals are asking the community to provide masks. We can't come out of our homes without a mask. I've been up making my family mask. Wow. This ain't no joke.
Now, we see what's going on. People making their own mask. Some people going out with costumes on.
Let me tell you, honey, a man was in the store. He scared the mess out of me. No, FeFe, for real. This scared me. This man had his whole face covered in some type of, I don't know what it was. And he had these shades and he walked up on me by the kid to pray. I'm like, what's going on with you?
I know.
People wearing Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
People wearing respirators.
Respirators? Are you serious?
Yeah, like the respiratory mask, like in a nasal can.
Yeah.
They got all that on their face. I'm like, that stuff got holes on the side. Like, what are you doing? But they put like a cloth over their face first, and then they're putting that on top. I've seen it in the stores. I'm like, people are just doing whatever they can. They taking whatever they have or whatever they can get from somebody. And then this one lady, she stole a whole bunch of equipment from the hospital. Now listen to this.
Oh, wow.
She had a bag full of gloves. She had masks. She had the sanitizer wipes. I mean, she had the works. She had the work.
Wow.
She was taking everything home to make sure her family was safe, right? But as soon as she walked through the doors of the hospital, you know, like you're leaving out the exit, the bag bust. What? And security was like, they fired her.
Did she get fired?
Oh, yeah, she got fired.
Ooh.
She got fired.
Because that's stealing. That is actually stealing. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you
this
right now.
Crazy. They can have the gloves.
I'm condition 19 prepared.
I know that's right.
I don't care what they say.
I know that's right. Okay, what about
conditions?
how to protect yourself? We're going to talk about that topic. How can you, working in the health field, you as well as your husband working in the health field, how can you encourage us to protect ourselves?
Constantly washing your hands, spraying throughout the house with Lysol spray and just letting it drop. You know, even if you have a surface that's been like soiled with something, saturated with something, like, you know, even just spraying down stuff and letting it, like saturating something with Lysol and letting it sit for 3 minutes and then wiping it clean. Like your countertops, bleach. I'm telling y'all, I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff. Even when I go to work in the morning, I don't do anything until I wash my hands. I wash my hands for 30 seconds or more. I put on gloves. I then clean the area where I'm going to be working. I wipe everything down with bleach. If I'm be touching the med cart, if I'm be touching the med window, if I'm touching the computer, I'm going to take another set of wipes. There's another set of gray top wipes. I'm pretty sure the people working in the healthcare field know what I'm talking about.
Now,
gray top wipes.
The Clorox wipes is the orange top wipes.
Yeah, the bleach ones are the orange top. And the gray top wipes, they also kill corona and everything else, like all kind of diseases. And they like carcinogenic and like type wipes. So you have to make sure you put gloves on when you touching and using them. Yeah. So I wipe the computer down, I wipe everything down, and I let it dry for at least 3 minutes before I sit in that space. You got to do that. You got to wipe the door.
Oh, you're saying we need to make sure it's dry too.
Make sure it's dry. Make sure it's dry for you touch it. Give it 3 minutes. Give it 3 minutes. Yeah. And in between every patient that I see, I'm wiping the exam tables down, the counters down, everything down with bleach and letting that room dry for about 5 minutes before I bring another patient in there. That's the way I'm doing.
Now,
Queen said, what if you don't have Lysol? What can you use to spray?
Okay. Now, if you're at home, because your job supposed to supply you with those particular items. So we can't speak for your employment, but if you're at home, Mandy is good at this. Your Fabulosos, your Pine Sols, your ammonias, bleach is a big thing of hers. She loved Pine Sol, Fabuloso, and bleach.
Yes.
What people haven't took from all the stores are empty containers, spray bottles.
Okay.
You can take buy your bleach because you still have the containers of bleach, all of that. Your cleaners like that. They've only took like wipes and sanitizers and stuff like that. Your bleaches and all your cleaners are still there in the store. So you would take so much amount of water and then pour a little bit of the bleach inside the bottle as well, and boom, you have a cleaner that you can spray around and disinfect those
you won't
areas.
Be able to spray anything in the air because of course you don't want to bleach any of your items or stuff like that. But clean it, keeping the surfaces clean will be enough if you're in your home, because there's not many people coming to your home but people that live there. So keeping the doorknobs clean with bleach and
that's stuff. What they were talking about.
I clean what I do. Even when I get ready to mop, I always boil hot water on the stove first, and then I pour it in my mop bucket. You know, and then I put the bleach, the Fabuloso, and I let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I get to mopping it down and let that steam just rise. Bleaching that. Bleaching that.
Now you know what? I have done that as well, like on the stove. Like I boil hot water, and I actually use this particular pot, and I use it for fume.
Yeah, for
I don't know.
What those things called? Those
hot pots.
Potpourri or hot pots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made one. My mom, we've been doing those for years, but that is a good one as well. And you, let's talk about this, Mandy. It says, we did already talk about use of gloves and masks. Does it really help? How to protect yourself. Uh, Basically, let's talk about loss of family from the virus. Like, let's talk about that topic right there.
We're mainly losing a lot of elderly people. Anybody who's elderly, they are basically falling terminally ill with the coronavirus. They really are. It's affecting a lot of elderly people more so than anybody. That's why even here in Georgia, they had after they announced the 14-day lockdown, they also announced that the elderly people will be allowed to go into the grocery store early in the morning before the younger people because they're the most vulnerable population. So taking immune boosters, emergency, those vitamin C packs, those are really good. Making sure that, you keep your immune system healthy and keep yourself up, and drinking lots of hot teas and things like that is really good right now. Because like you said, if somebody sneezes in the air and that stuff lingering, they could be 6 feet from you and you don't even know it's down there and you walking through that mess. If you just hot tea and stuff, it'll help. If you are contracting that virus at that point in time, it'll help it go down into your stomach, they say, and your stomach gastric juices will kill it. But that way it bypasses your lungs. So drinking something hot every morning, keeping teas around, washing your hands, like I said, those are going to be the important things that you must do every day. Like we keep hot tea, hot coffee, we keep things like that around.
But as Mandy is saying, you want to make sure you're getting the right amount of nutrients. So by all means, make sure you eat a lot of fruits and veggies at your disposal. Likewise, you want to make sure you keep your immune system at its most high, where it can do the best, work its best for you. I myself, I can put it out there, I'm a heart patient. So I don't let that take over me. Only God got the last say for me.
Correct.
I don't stop working out. I don't let other things like this pandemic take over me or overwhelm me because of that. I didn't get it being a heart patient because of my
you were born with something, or it was a condition. An accident. So
I got in a bad car accident. So I don't let things overwhelm me and things of that nature. Just take good care of yourself and make sure that you're doing the right thing so you can get the best fighting ability out of your body when something like that comes to consume you. So make sure you're eating right amount of fruits and vegetables, taking a multivitamin,
and washing that stuff when you buy it too. Wash that stuff.
Oh, you know what? And a lot of people, I have been guilty of that years ago. Like, really, they've been talking about this information we're talking about for years. Look, when people try to shake your hand, wash your hand. Wash your wash your fruit and stuff like that. I don't think we really took it as serious as now we realize that this thing is real. You know what I mean? And you put down here, we within our topic, Mandy, talking about the new guidelines for entering and exiting stores. Even though we piggyback on that, we talked about a little bit. I want to talk about that a little bit more. Because like I said, Walmart now, it used to be you used to can go into Walmart in both areas, but the area where you can enter in for like buying clothes and personal things on that side, it was closed off yesterday. I was like, I told my husband, I said, Virgil, for real, For real, I know good and well Walmart is not doing no mess like that. He was like, yeah. So I took my car, I drove down there to see if it was true. And I drove through, guys. When I say it's real, you couldn't go through the door. And the people had to literally, where you go in through the food, they literally took the buggies, the buggies you buy groceries with, on the outside. They lined the buggies up all the way across in the door way, because you could not go straight into the door. You had to walk all the way around the buggies, all the way around to come in, one, like so many people at a time. And they had somebody to guard that area. And it's real. So is that just, you were saying that it was another store, public? We don't have public here, but Walmart
Publix is not doing that. Publix is not doing that. But
okay,
what I will say is Publix are utilizing their self-checkouts, and what they do is they have somebody standing there to facilitate the traffic, and the person that is facilitating everything is wiping down the screen, the pin pad where you're putting your debit card number in and all that stuff, and wiping down the scanner and everything in between every customer before they allow another customer to walk up to that self-checkout.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So it's really nice that they're doing that at the one we had. When it wasn't crowded where we were at either. It wasn't crowded. So they are adhering to social distancing over here where we at.
Now the Home Depot, what they are initiating is that 2 people go in the store at a time, and they wait 10 minutes
before they let somebody else in.
And they let another 2 people come in the store. And after they have probably about 5 people in the store, 2 people got to come out before 2 more can go in.
To ensure social distancing around the store. Like, so they're watching the aisles too. Like, okay, it's too many y'all in this aisle. Somebody to go find what you're getting and get on that aisle. Like, they trying to really move the traffic along and say, hey, you know, you've been standing around in here too long. Like, some people go into the stores, they really don't need nothing. They just want to be out and about. Go home. Stay home.
They saving money. They teaching them to save money. You don't really need that. I need you to go on that.
Right. But some of them is not doing that. Some of them is not doing that. People want to be in the store to be in the stores. And it's like, you want to be out here to be out here, because some people have that cabin fever. They can't stand to be inside. I don't like being inside. Well, you know, even other states like states like South Carolina, they're not taking it serious. They're still moving on just like normal. Nebraska too.
It was a couple of states they gave off in the news earlier today that their government is not gonna hold back. They're not gonna shut anything down, and they're moving like as if nothing ever happened.
Oh, South Carolina is one of them.
Well, let me ask you this: so, if the governor says everything has to be shut down, you're saying local governors?
He's saying local governors for those states we named, like North and South Dakota, Nebraska, and South Carolina. They aren't taking it as serious because they don't have as many cases or no cases at all. So they're allowing their people to maneuver and do like they've been doing. They're not shutting anything down. Like, their airport isn't shut down. They're not shutting anything down.
Wow.
Wow. And this is the situation, because they think they have no cases because no one is going to get checked out.
No one gets tested. And then because they have limited testing and the testing is so expensive, they only want to, like, if they were to test one of us, they would choose to test me first. You know why? Because I'm more valuable to them, because I'm a healthcare worker. We need her to be able to come to work. We need her to be able to come to work. If he got it, he could stay home in quarantine within 14 days.
My goodness.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. If I was a healthcare worker, he wasn't one, then it would just be me. And that's what they're doing, because I know another family, they felt like one of the family members in the house had put everybody at risk for coronavirus. The only one they tested for it, though, was the nurse in the house, because she's a healthcare worker. So she's
serious? Wow. Now, Gina, I believe Trader Joe's, you go in one at a time.
That's right, Gina.
Wow. I didn't know that. And Rico says, oh, wait a minute. I know for me, I have to watch out because I have trouble with asthma and it's already freaking me out. But I keep the good Lord in my heart. That's all right. Hey, you have to, Rico. You have
Rico,
to.
you'll be fine.
Leilani
You
say
will be
right.
fine.
Yep.
She said, Leilani said right. They don't have cases because no one is getting tested. Wow, I did not know this.
And that's
Tasty Mafia said its folks was about to get into a grocery store because they was so close to one another. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's even workers that are out there and people are being really rude. They're being rude. So the distance, is needed because one time I went in the grocery store. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like if you know that you got a cold, you may not have the virus, but people are freaking out so much that when you call, you think the worst. And I'm gonna be honest, the woman was like, I was in the store and she was like, I said, no, honey, I'm finna go. I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't need no groceries today. I'm finna go. I mean, she was going down every aisle.
Everybody's
I mean, she didn't even do this. She was just coughing all loud. I said, oh my goodness. I mean,
and no mask on.
No, I said I'm out of here. I don't want. As a matter of fact, I don't want no tissue. I don't want nothing today. I don't need nothing. Y'all can have this because this woman was coughing like crazy. But okay, I mean, when people do that, do you think people should be offended because you look at them a certain way? Because I mean,
they shouldn't be offended because if you know you got a cough and you out here and you got no mask on, you got no gloves on, you're not taking necessary precautions, you're not staying home, you're not sending another loved one to the grocery store in your absence because you are sick, then there is a problem. Like there's a girl at my job, she went ahead and got her FMLA paperwork approved from her doctor because she has really bad asthma, like Rico was saying. Yeah. She was like, I feel like it's unsafe, especially being that we've had people at our job come down with coronavirus. We've had
yes, I want to talk about that. Mm-hmm. They said, and I know, guys, I don't want to keep y'all forever, but I do want to talk about the health field. I'm good. Okay. Well, the health field, you guys, I realize that everybody is talking about everybody else, but for those that are in the health field, in the medical field, they are catching the virus too, and a lot of people are not talking about that. They really not,
and they really don't want to talk about it or tell you about it because they know that it's going to incite panic at work, and people are going to start calling off for shifts. And in order for your business to run, you need staff. So if we don't have any nurses, if we don't have any techs here, if we don't have any environmental services workers here, then we're in a bad way. We need these people. So if we let them know we have condition 19 cases running around the building, people are going to call off because that's exactly what happened. They had to go ahead and tell us because they had someone at our job who tested positive for it. And the only thing they kept saying was, oh, this person was, as soon as we found out, this person was only limited to this certain floor. They didn't go here. They didn't go there. You're lying. They got on the elevators. They was all over this building. They work here.
You know what? They said something about that, about the elevators too. They talked about that, the coronavirus, which, the virus, guys, said that people can cough in the elevator. And if it's on those numbers, the number pads and stuff like that, it lives. And that stuff need to be wiped down. I know here in Indiana,
and I know for a fact they are not wiping it down. I even tell them. I was even telling some of the people I work with. I was like, listen, when you're transitioning with these patients throughout the building, doing groups, therapy groups, and things like that, y'all need to be wiping those door handles and wiping those tables and allowing them to dry before allowing any other patients to enter that area. Like, how are you just having patients in there playing cards, doing this, doing that, coughing? They don't care. And then you letting other patients go in there right behind them and sit in the same spot, same germs, same bacteria, and we just hoping they don't catch the virus. Come on, you can't operate.
Now, Now, let me ask you this about, I know you work in a hospital setting, but do you guys know how they are keeping the patients apart? Like, are they keeping the patient like in the rest home, the facilities like that? Are
Yeah,
they keeping the
in some places they're keeping them apart, and in some places they're not. No. Like, you know, one day I was at work and I saw like 11 people on the elevator at one time. And I said, why won't y'all transport 4 at a time with one staff? And then 4 go on another elevator with patients, or 4 go to take the stairs. You know, do something different. But everybody can't be on that elevator like that. And it's like, no, heck no, I don't want to get on that. No.
Now, what about also, I know Mama Dale, I don't know if you guys know her or not, but Mama Dale, she works in the facility with the people that are homeless. And my heart really goes out. We need to talk about the homeless guys, because it's very, very sad.
Very
she said that they are basically, and they have actually closed down homeless shelters because they were not able to provide 6 feet of footage for these people.
Right.
So what, I mean, have you guys heard anything? Like, what are they doing?
I mean, if you ride around in certain parts, I mean, you see them on, you know, under the freeway sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
You're not in the open on the streets. You see them.
Being here in Georgia has opened my eyes to seeing a wide range of vagrants here in Atlanta. I never seen that many before, to where they have tents.
Wow, that's what I heard.
Yeah, they set like little neighborhoods.
Yeah, under the highways, you see rows and rows of tents, like it's a like a government assistance program housing. And I'm talking about, you can see like 15 to 20 tents just driving different Highway 400, 285, Highway 19.
When you're going toward the south side of Georgia, like Lithonia area, you see a lot of that in that, going toward that side, or Jonesboro, Morrow, you'll see a lot of that stuff.
Oh my goodness. And do you believe that those people are effective? They were already, I know Georgia is huge with homelessness. But do you think that it increased since they closed the doors?
Oh, absolutely. For homeless shelters? Oh, yeah. I knew somebody who was living in a shelter, and they were affected by this. And what's happening is, and even she was saying that people are having to go to the hospital, and people are trying to make up excuses why they don't feel well, trying to get in a hospital bed because they don't have. And the hospitals are turning people away too, because they're like, we don't have the space for this.
What they're doing is, you see certain states opening up convention centers, opening up different places, buildings that they have for lease that are empty and things like that, and making them into hospitals,
just so they can treat the outbreak of the cases.
Wow. Now, before we're going to wind this up, I want to talk about the transition, guys, of the new to come. So do you guys feel like financially as well as business wise that we're going to go back to the norm, far as people that are in the health field, the office setting field, food industry and stuff like that? Do you feel like, because personally I feel like it's not going to go back, but I want to hear your view. Do you feel like it will go back to normal?
No, things won't be the same. There will be some level of normalcy that will go on, but it won't be the same. No, we won't go back to the same way of living. It won't be the same. The economy will get a boost with these stimulus checks. They'll get another boost when they take your money back when you file your next tax return, which is going to be right around the corner, because this is already extended into the halfway mark of the year as it is. And what's so sad about that too is that for people who are not working, I mean, how much taxes will they really be able to file and pay back for these stimulus checks when they're not even working? So things will not be the same. It's going to take some people a couple of years and maybe 3 to 5 to get back, back where they were, depending on how legislation change, all kind of things are going to be put in place that it's going to hurt a lot of people.
So do you think, like, okay, for instance, I mean, looking at the picture with the food industry, okay, and I noticed that, right now they have it where a lot of food places are closed, or either they have closed down the diner, okay? So the diner, okay, the drive-through is open. Now let's think about this. Now, if they can operate without all these people in the dining area, and they're making more money, I don't see, I'm being honest, I could be wrong, I don't see them, the dining part being needed anymore. I feel like people, if you look at that picture, and if I was a business person, I'm operating, I got Uber, I got DoorDash, Uber Eats, DoorDash, they coming to pick up the food.
You will have some that will think like that. Buying the food. Yep, you're right. You will have some that will think like that. You will have some businesses that will think like that, cut the overhead so that you can eliminate costs. However, you will have some who will think like this. Just as many as coming through the drive-through, there's just as many want to come inside and get their food.
Yeah.
So not only do I got 15 cars in the drive-through that I can service, but I got 20 in the inside that I can service as well. And I'm going to want to do that as well. So you will have some that will still want to go back to the way in which they did business, because it's all about your mindset about things too. The owner, the people who are making the decisions, their mindset. So that's going to
that makes sense. So what about this too, man? If you think about this, okay, what if the people also, if they come in, they can make money that way, but at the same time, then you got people that has businesses that they're accepting people coming through the drive-through, but they also got people that are on the phone that are saying, I want to do my order on the phone. I need you to go get my food and bring it to me.
So
they're winning. They can win all.
All types of ways they can go. But I'm gonna tell you something. There was a video of a DoorDash driver who was driving with somebody's food, and he had roaches all over his car.
Oh my goodness!
And that was on social media, so people is gonna be skeptical about that too.
Yeah.
Well, oh my goodness!
Myself.
But we are moving towards an e-commerce kind of world.
Yeah.
Where people want to order everything. You can see that with Amazon and
clothes,
stuff like that.
Shoes.
With everything has moved to that. Also, with the food, with dinners, you have Blue Apron, where you can have meals shipped to your door, and you can make dinner.
You cook your dinner yourself.
A whole meal. Wow.
And people subscribe to it, and they pay every week, and they send you the meals every week. And it feeds enough. You can pick a meal that feeds a family. You pick a meal that feeds 2 people, things like that. So people are already on that trend as it is.
Yeah. And then you see it with fitness. You have different places that make fit meals, whether it be keto, different types of low carb meals and stuff like that, and we'll ship them to your door as well.
People now doing virtual workouts.
Yep.
Where they working out with you on FaceTime, training you from home. People are not doing
this. Is wow.
We've gotten away from having an interpersonal human connection with one another. You notice how people, even kids, they'll be sitting in class next to each other and they texting and they right next to each other like, what's going on? Why are you texting and we right here? People, it's like people are moving away from having that human connection, and that's not really good.
Just like J. Cola said, this is the new normal.
It is.
You're right, Joe Cola. This is it.
Yeah, he said we are being trained to see ordering online and take out as the new thing. It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah, if you get that money, don't touch it. Leave it alone. That's right, Rico. Leave it alone.
That's smart. Wow. Guys, we have learned so much today by Muscle and Marriage. And one thing I want to say about you guys are a loving couple. You want to tell the truth. See what I mean? See, that's what it's about, guys. You got to learn how to be affectionate, one to another, and not be afraid, to show love. He's Rico troublemaker. He's a troublemaker, guy. One day he'll be able to kiss his honey bun.
Yeah, right. Rico find somebody to give some sugar to.
We appreciate each and every one of you guys for chiming in. And as I stated to you guys, keep continually to display love. Keep continuing to display truth, because that's what we need. The world needs the truth. The world needs to see humanity, that humility, that we're all human. We all fall short of God's glory at times. We all need one another. And you guys have edified us today with some good information. You built us up on ways that we need to stay together as family. We need to also be aware about the stimulus checks, guys, to make sure you save your money. Make sure you guys don't take the precautions as a joke, guys. Also to be prepared for the transition that is here. It is not it's here.
It's here.
So
and also, even though there are going to be some transitions that we're not aware of, there are going to be some unexpected things that come our way. We just got to know how to maneuver and just be patient. Be patient. Take it one day at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with all the information. Don't overwhelm yourself with what's going on. Like I seen one person in the chat said that they didn't even have any bleach where they are. They had to get bleach tablets to make gallons of bleach water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just whatever, you just improvise, you do what you can so that you can make a way to get things disinfected, to keep things clean. You just gotta adapt, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, even in Home Depot, we went in there, they had a lot of bleach in their big bottles, but they was charging arm and leg for them suckers too.
You know what? That's what they're saying, that they're increasing the pay too.
Stuff. Yeah. And Lysol not even putting nothing back on the shelves. Like they don't even have that stuff on the shelves at some of these places. Like you got to go ask somebody, hey, do y'all any Lysol back there? Like, is this that bad? Like they're limiting, you only get one item. And people are going back to their car having to send somebody that's back in the store to buy one more paper towel, more tissue. I said, I'm so glad I don't have to be a part of this foolishness, because I had more than enough of this stuff prior to this pandemic coming out.
That was Leilani that said that. And I want to ask you, what
Leilani said that,
I never heard of that. We have no bleach here. I brought concentrated bleach tablets. What are those?
Tablets. They look like almost like Alka-Seltzers, but they're thicker, and you can put them in the water, almost like the little things you put in your toilet bowl in the back. And when you flush, like bleach tablets, you can make up bleach water with them. You put them in there to dissolve in the water, and it makes the water into bleach water.
Oh, I need to go to the store and find those. Now I can't find alcohol. I know for sure I cannot find alcohol. I have like one bottle left in my house, and I do have hand sanitizer, but they don't have any holla in no store.
And let me share something with you about hand sanitizer, because everybody is so big on hand sanitizer. Let me share something with you about hand sanitizer. A doctor did a survey. He had everybody wash their hands for 30 seconds. Some people wash their hands for 30 seconds. Then he had some people not wash their hands at all, right? He wanted the people who didn't wash their hands at all to touch a piece of bread. They all touched a piece of bread. He then had everybody in the other line who used hand sanitizer to touch another piece of bread, a whole separate piece of bread. And then he had everybody who washed their hands thoroughly the way he told them to touch another piece of bread. So we have 3 pieces of bread here. We have a piece of bread that's been touched by people who did not wash their hands. We have another piece of bread here that's been touched by people who use hand sanitizer. And then we have a third piece of bread that's been touched by people who wash their hands thoroughly for 30 seconds or more. The bread that nobody washed their hands was contaminated with all kinds of germs. We know that because they didn't wash their hands. They've been touching on their face, touching in their car, touching each other, everything, just touching stuff. That bread was contaminated. The hand sanitizer bread was also contaminated with 50% germs, because hand sanitizer is not as effective as people think it is. You need to wash your hands with antibacterial soap. If I have a choice over washing my hands, hand sanitizer, I'm washing my hands.
Me too.
If you're in a position to wash your hands, wash your hands. If you're not, you're traveling out and about in the car, then yes, use hand sanitizer, because at least your hands will be 50% clean. But immediately when you get home, wash your hands. If you go from the bathroom, wash your hands. If you come out the kitchen, wash your hands. Every time you do a new task, if you go put your makeup on, go wash your hands. Wash your hands. Every time I do a new task, I'm constantly washing my hands. And my hands get really dry really fast because I'm washing them so frequently at work and at home. So what I do is I keep some Eucerin lotion, ointment, advanced therapy lotion, because that's the only thing that works to keep my hands from drying out really bad. But I put that stuff on. I do like this. I put it on like this. And I just, put it on my skin where I know my skin is really bad. But if I'm going to do something, once it dissolves and everything, I go do something, I'm washing my hands again. That is going to be your number one thing. Hand sanitizer, okay, but it never will replace washing hands. You're right, Leilani. It'll never replace that.
Correct. Guys,
people need to scrub under their nails too. Another good tip too is bar soap. Bar soap, when you scratch bar soap and let it get up under your nails, it cleans under your nails really, really good. A doctor taught me that.
Oh, wow. I never heard of scraping of the soap.
Because when I shower, I use body wash and I use bar soap. See, think about it. When you use a body wash, it has an oil base in it. So you putting that oil base on your skin, you ain't getting all that dirt off of you. When you use soap strips everything. It strips it. It strips you clean. So do you notice how when you use certain soaps, you be dry as I don't know what, you be needing like some lotion or something, you be so dry.
Correct. So correct. That makes sense.
So I scrape my nails when I come home, get in the shower. I scrape my nails with the soap, and I go ahead and start lathering up with the soap first. Lather up real good with the soap and rinse off, and then I use body wash.
Wow.
Then I use body wash to add the oils and the moisture back to my skin. But soap is going to be bar soap is going to be used first before anything else. I'm not putting no oil base on my skin. I've been out in the air. I've been out with patients, things like that. So those are just important tips that some people just don't even think about. But you have to do that. That gold bar dial soap is life. Yes, Pink Table it is. It's antibacterial soap. We use the pump, and we have the bar soap for that as well. It's really good for acne too. That the gold dial, the old school.
Yeah.
Come on, this stuff been around for years.
That's why we say in the beginning of this video, you have to get back to the basics. You got to establish a plan, and you got to build a foundation.
Amen.
Yes. I appreciate that. You guys have received a lot of wisdom today, a lot of nugget. You guys have heard our hearts. We just want to share the truth, guys. It's real out there. And if guys, you have not joined in and fellowship with the MuscleNMarriage, please do go by, check out their channel. They have mukbangs, they have real talk, they do a little bit of everything. They do car mukbangs, they talk, talking
one day, y'all.
They do a little bit of everything. So please go check them. Annie and Keys, I want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
We love you. We appreciate this opportunity. We do.